Life Podcast, episode 4. Everyone just introduce yourselves.
I go by the name of Taima Hindi.
My name is Abdul.
My name's Katie, aka It's Brown Sugar. Follow me on Instagram, It's Brown Sugar, all one word.
I like that.
Just move.
Talib.
Marshall on Real Life TV UK.
Ray Marley.
Lil London.
Frank, aka Boogie.
Frank the Boogeyman. The importance of fathers. So, I don't know, in this generation that we're living in, I feel like we've had a lack of fathers being around and it's caused issues. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's caused issues in, we look at knife crime, we look at crime as a whole, we look at broken families, we look at just the people's general morality. People's general morality, yeah? Morality, yeah? You know what I mean? But, I mean, I think it's funny, when you grow up you see that a mother can do this, and she does it. It's not that they can't do it, it's that they shouldn't have to. And then, when a mother's alone, that means that the brother or sister has to pick up the slack. So that means someone's losing out on childhood. Do you know what I mean? And then if it goes down the circle and affects everyone else. Then being without a father can cause, you know what I mean? Like you're looking for a different role model. Have you looking for different role models and not necessarily good role models?
We're kind of touching with being without a father. So what are we saying about fathers?
Well, having a father, that's why I say that's why I say that.
Yeah.
Having a father
Yeah,
negates all of that though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it basically, you've got someone that's a role model, someone that's there. You've got someone that can show you, you know, how to tie shoelaces, how to pee straight in the toilet. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Because
I miss that day.
I still can't be straight. No.
That was a sick day for me.
You know what, man? I feel like the father is like the head of the household. So
that's right.
Should be. Should be the head of the household.
That's right.
And that when you have a father figure in the household, it's like it teaches the children discipline and guidance. That's what I think is important. A lot of the children these days lack the discipline, and I think that's because of the lack of the fathers in the household. You know?
Lack of a positive male role model.
Yeah.
Because your father can be there.
I was just going to say
and not be there.
That's what I was
And not be there.
They could be a really bad influence on the
Exactly.
child, but it's about the father's role. I wouldn't necessarily say the fathers should be the head of the family. The mother is also the head of the family, not just the father. They're the head for two different things. So the mother, she's obviously like, she's the teacher, she's the cook, she's the nurse, she's the one that cares for the children. She's probably the one that organises like the groceries and all the stuff, like sorts the house out, taking care of the house. The father, it depends because not everyone does those things.
But you have the hunter and gatherer, but it goes
this is
stems
just
from
two
back in the days.
Yeah, this is just two examples.
There is role reversal now, and women have proved they can do what men do, and men try to prove. I'll have it right. Men are just as important in a child's life as the woman is.
Yes.
Men, fathers
100%.
are just important as mothers.
100%.
We all have our own roles.
Yeah.
And yes, we can swap and interchange, and you know, it doesn't mean that you can't go to work as a woman. It doesn't mean that you can't cook as a man.
Yeah.
However, lines are being blurred.
That's what I
And
feel.
people are forgetting that inevitably we were born and we have certain things naturally within
That's
us
right.
that make us
That's
who
right.
we are as men and women.
Yes.
But don't you feel like they're
We're
trying
two
to...
different people with two different skills.
Yes.
And we're not supposed to be in competition with each other.
No,
We're
no.
supposed to be
Work together.
compatible
There's
with
things
one
that a
another.
father will teach a child that a mother cannot teach.
Right, 100%.
Never teach.
And there's things, do you know what I mean?
You can't
So
be a
that's why-
father as a mother. You can't.
Yeah, but do you know what you say
You
that?
can pick up the slack.
That's right.
I'm a strong woman. I could
That's
do
right.
it all
That's right.
single-handedly. I'm not
That's
saying
right.
that you can't.
Yeah,
you can. But you made a point of saying, when you know, there's women out there doing it all. No, you cannot be
No,
a
you
father
can't.
as a mother.
You can't.
Same way as
You
you could be a
can't.
single
You can't.
parent
You can't.
and do
You
good.
can't.
Do you think
You can't.
it's possible to be a full of like I can't even say a full man, but like do you know what I mean? Like,
Apparently not.
do you think it's possible to be like a fully developed man without having a father in the household?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Because your role model
It
then...
depends.
No, but hear me out.
Yeah, no,
Right.
We're not talking about no father in the household. We're just talking about because of course.
Yeah, but you're
or a
naturally
male
you're going to
role
seek a role model though. That's the problem.
Yeah, but some
As a
people
young man,
some people
no.
seek a
You might not seek a granddad. You might seek that done on the road. That's doing his thing, and then that might be the wrong direction.
Exactly.
You know what I'm trying to say?
It
But
could be the right direction.
it could be. It could be.
Exactly.
It could be.
It could be the right, but I'm talking about like there is no father figure at all in the family
Yeah, but when
network.
you say father figure, what do you mean? Cousin, uncle?
No father figure. It could be anyone.
A positive male role model.
But that means you have to live on the mountain because even
No, because he just said if you don't find it from somewhere that
You're gonna seek
You will
it somewhere.
seek it.
Yeah,
You will
but I'm
seek it.
talking about
You will seek
The
it.
streets will raise
if
you.
there is no positive role model,
Then you will get a negative one.
Exactly.
Yeah, and
that's
you know
the
you
point.
won't
That's
ever
the
grow
point.
into a fully functioning man. You're probably staying with that boy mentality on road,
Yes.
animalistic because you're fighting
So my
and you're
question-
trying to get out of the
So my
jungle.
question is it possible? I'm just asking a question.
Yep.
I'm playing devil's advocate.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what
go
I
on.
mean? Is it possible to be a fully developed man without a positive male role model?
Of course it is.
Of course it is.
Wait, it depends
Yes,
what you
and
mean
why?
about
I don't know
development.
Eventually.
Positive, yeah, there has to be a negative. If you're just saying, "Rock, can you just be a fully developed?"
Fuck it. I've got insurance today.
People can find it through
Man down.
faith in
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
People can find it
Right.
through Islam,
Right.
Christianity.
Yes.
That's
But
right.
this is at that age.
people do go
Why
church.
they expected to be a man at 12.
Yeah.
Be a child. This is the problem
you're
as well.
saying-
But that's what I was
Mentors.
saying.
Let children
Youth
be
clubs.
children.
Right.
So many
You're saying
people.
that-
Right. Right. No, but what you just said is very, very important. Yeah, that's the problem. I was saying this before. If the child isn't allowed to be a child, it's missing a part in their life.
Yeah,
and if
and
a parent's not there, then that
Right.
child.
So they try and
slap.
feel that they try to be the man of the house.
Yeah.
That's why.
Sometimes that happens.
Are they
even
forced
with
into
two
that
parents.
position?
This is what I'm
They're
trying to
forced into
get-
that
this is what I'm trying to get-
That's another thing altogether.
Let me answer your question. There's
Yeah.
many levels to development. There's
Right.
spiritual
Yes,
development,
of course.
mental development,
Yeah.
emotional development,
Yes.
right? Physical development.
Of
But you
course.
see, the emotional development.
Yeah.
In life, if you're not reared properly from childhood, or like in a safe way, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be according to whoever's rules, but in a safe way where it's good for your development, then you are going to be underdeveloped
100%.
emotionally specifically, and it happens to research for children that are in care. It happens to them.
Boys and girls.
And the majority of them are underdeveloped
where
emotionally.
is perfection?
It's not about
It's not about perfection.
It's not about
It's
perfection.
not
It's not about perfection.
It's about you striving as a parent to be the best you can.
Calm down. Hey, yay. Order.
We haven't got a person that we can say that person had both parents or that person never had both parents that we can actually base upon. Like, there's no perfect person.
So scrap perfect.
Oh, you know what? He had this, and so he's.
Who said that's perfect though? No, there is. In fact, there is.
There is no perfection.
What about when you
There's
got
no
twins?
such thing as perfection, but
Happiness.
there's such thing as good
That's right.
emotional development.
And a fair chance.
And one of the results of good emotional development is how someone's stable. So
Yeah.
people who are balanced emotionally,
Stability.
or stable,
Yeah.
right?
Security.
They
Go
right,
further.
are likely to be emotionally resilient either through the things that they've experienced in life and the positive role models or situations that have pulled them out of those negative
people that have gone through
situations.
things that are more emotionally resilient
Right.
than someone that hasn't gone through.
No, but what is emotionally resilient? Because you can go around with your whole defensive up, acts like you're big and bad, and you know what? They're the softest people because they're covering up their
You
emotions.
said
That's
what's
what it is.
emotionally resilient?
What emotional
When someone's
resilience
got- when
is?
listen, what I'm saying. When someone has been like had rich family, in the high class, suicide rates are way much more higher than in the low class. So it shows that the people that have had the life that people would say is that stable life.
That's got
Yeah.
nothing to do with.
Are easier to for something.
Money though, money don't mean they've had a stable life.
That's what
You understand what I'm saying?
But that's the financial. That's finances.
They're two
Can I
sort
talk
of different
about
topics.
I'm not just talking
Yeah,
about
we're going
finances,
off
but
track.
Can I get a talk, please? What I'm gonna say is, I've seen a family that has been smoking on drugs, and I've seen kids in that situation, and I've seen them have no positive role model from the mother or the father, and I've seen them in 20 years' time, and they're doing so
doing
well, and they are positively
It just depends on the
thinking.
child.
Right, so
Yeah.
we're
It's
just
going
human
back.
nature then,
When
right?
we
Depends
say
on the
it
child,
can
but
it
that doesn't
happen?
mean that
It depends.
No, you
It
don't know
depends
what's
on the
interjected
child.
in their life.
Exactly.
That could make you go and want to be a crackhead, or it make you be like, I don't want to be
But if the father is a good
It's just experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
You don't know who else had a hand.
Hey, you.
if the father is a good person, he's positive in the. If
you
a
see?
man, if he's a good father and he's doing what he's supposed to do, he is necessary
wasn't
in the
a
household.
good father.
You know what? It takes a village. You know what? It takes a village. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village to raise a child. That's what I would say.
A good father is someone that meets the needs of their child. That's what a good father is. A father is somebody who meets the needs of his child. It doesn't matter whether whether the father's a crackhead. It doesn't matter whether he's a millionaire.
I agree.
If that father is absent in that child's life, then that is not a good father. A father can live in the same house. A father can live in the same house as his child all that child's life and never know his child.
That's right.
You ask that child will tell you they don't know their father.
But he's got money though.
A man can smoke crack
that doesn't
every
mean
single
anything.
day of his life and be there for his child and make his
father.
child know.
You don't. Yes, you can. That is another story. That's a drug podcast. We're talking about now. Presents do not give presents. Listen. Presents do not. Presents is more important.
Say crack makes a good father.
Let me tell you something.
Nobody said that.
Let me tell you something. Presents is more important than presents. As she stated, you could have someone who is living in the house, they're going out every day with their briefcase, got all the dollar, everything's paid for, they don't know their child, they ain't there. They're too busy chasing money. Now money can help situations, pay bills, blah blah, all that jazz.
It can't help your
presents does not override present, being present.
Point taken.
Right? So money
Point taken.
is not
You can say that, but that doesn't apply.
That means you've got
Because
to
you're
invest in your
thinking
children.
practically and you're thinking
but
materialistically.
it's investment.
We're talking emotionally. That's why we're not.
I'm saying the same things don't apply in every country.
But that means it does. It does. You've got to invest in your children.
Let's have it right.
No, Jay. Invest in your children.
Do you know why?
Emotionally.
Do you know why
Financially.
it does relate to every single country, every single child and parent in the world? Because every child has the same needs. It needs emotional warmth. It needs shelter. Yes, they do.
What about we've talked about like absence of demand, yeah? What about when you've got a stepdad? When there's too many involved, yeah? When you've got extra parents involved, do you know what I mean? Does loyalties? What does your loyalty?
It depends. Ask the child in that
You might have a
situation.
fantastic stepdad and a horrible dad. But your loyalties cross over, you know what I mean?
That's what I was saying about the balance.
Let's pretend that these men are good, because the moment that we're going to talk about it depends, it's going to, we need to be, do you know what I mean? So let's just, hypothetically speaking, just to say the men that are positive.
Okay.
So that we are all on the same page.
So like,
So if there's a stepdad and a dad, that's even better. But like you said, it's a village to raise a child. There's two men, so that's even better.
I had an absence of a father in my childhood, right? I moved country.
Right.
Dad wasn't there. He wouldn't come over because he was earning too much money over as a bricklayer. And it was a split family. I had a stepdad that was there, but every week, every 4 weeks, he sent over pocket money, £200.
Right.
But the thing is now, I've worked hard in the building trade. And you think, fucking hell, where's he get this extra money that could easily go each month, every month, always there, letters, made it an issue to write a letter. You know, so he wasn't there, but in theory he was, and as a role model,
Financially.
yeah, he provided everything was there.
But do you not feel you're lacking anything?
Another child,
Did you have another father figure in your life?
What happened? He got ill in the end, and I looked after him for about 15 years. So it was.
He's lucky.
But what was your experience of him?
You're giving back that positivity back into him. So look, do you know what? You've done a good job raising me.
Everyone's version of a good job will be different.
So it's
If you don't feel like you listen, did you have another father figure in your life?
Yeah, I had another step.
See, here's the thing, guys.
All of this is opinion.
Sorry, guys.
You know what I mean? Like,
Can we just add to this situation? He's happy. Sorry, excuse me. He also added. He added that he did have. He added that he did have a positive male role model in his life, so therefore he wasn't lacking. If he was sitting here today and his dad just sent him money and he didn't have a stepdad and he was going around having all these problems as a boy to a man.
The difference is, what this man as a stepdad told me, I couldn't talk to my dad and say this is the kind of person I am. It was a proper old paddy. Shut the fuck up, go to church. We don't do that. We don't do this. We're all proper. And when I'm a lad, and I grow from this other man, he gave me street credibility, so I can bowl around. So like when I'm 38, so when I get fucking steamed up, proper steamed up, and I don't know where I am, I've still got the gift of the gab, and I can talk to people without getting fucking bashed up, stabbed, killed, murked, fucking anything, and still get home safely. So I mean, so that's what good father does.
Can I give you a scenario though? Yeah. What about the dad that's always there and don't make no money?
Does nothing.
Yeah, but what does he? But what? I don't.
Huh? I don't think it's all about money.
It goes back to
Hold on. So check what are you saying to me? Say it again. Go on.
A father that's there, he's there all day.
Yeah.
He don't go nowhere.
Yeah.
And he ain't got no money neither.
Yeah, but does he invest in his children? Hold on. Does he invest his time? Because look at him. He might not go work and not do nothing, but he takes that child every day, wakes up in the morning at 6 o'clock, takes him to train, takes him to, or him or her to play tennis, and then that child becomes the best tennis player in the world. Did he invest his time into his child?
But that's extreme.
You can't. No, but check what I'm saying.
Can still be met even when the dad is on your university credit.
Yes, right, yeah. Let's have it right.
Check.
We're not in.
It could be anything. Yeah. It could just be given.
Drop him off and pick you up every single day at the same time. That's reliability.
What is this? Yeah, we've probably seen what it's like coming up in an area where people didn't have.
Yeah.
And when people didn't have, whether they were good people or not, we ended up going to get ourselves.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. As much as people might have been there, you got enough of them that they're there. Now you got to go and do what he's supposed to do because he.
Pick up that slack.
Yeah, but did you have a positive role model when you made that decision? So check what I'm saying. No, check what I'm saying.
Somebody ain't gonna land you in jail. Somebody ain't gonna be 6 foot under.
Let me finish what I mean.
Positive. Where we come
It
from.
don't sound like I'm just chatting rubbish.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're saying positive, someone could be come up in the church, yeah, and the church could be looked at as positive. But there's so much things that they will be lacking in experience, in life lessons and things like that, that they might have needed some of the stuff on the other side. So positive don't mean anything.
No, but it does. Positive, exactly. Positive is a balance.
We don't live
But without positive, negative, you don't have positive. It is a balance, negative, positive. It makes you who you are.
It's a balance.
It creates us where we are.
If you just say positive.
Yeah,
no, but you've got to push for positive.
Hold on 1 second. Not every negative is going to be the same.
You should be given though.
Not everybody's negative is going to be the same. Some negatives are going to be more serious than others.
You have to push for positive.
You've got to learn
You
from
have
negative.
to. Because you're going to look at the experiences in your life. Some of them are negative. And if you learn from the negative experiences and you know what's right, you know what? That leads me this way.
Exactly.
So you know what? I'm going to push more for the positive because I know where that goes. So you have to. You literally.
Some of our role models weren't positive.
Right. This is what I said.
We learned from in terms of it being a role model, like in terms of like people we learned that we not to do that.
But wasn't that your learning experience?
But in time you learned that those role models wasn't the ones for you. Right. And you found the right role models.
You took the
You get what I'm saying?
You evolve in it.
You evolve.
What's positive for one person is not positive for
Hopefully
another.
people
Exactly.
There could be a guy that
Hopefully they get to it, hopefully they make
grows
it.
up to think that's positive,
Exactly.
and there could be a child that gets beaten up and he grows up to think that that's negative. So positive is based on perception.
But go back to what I initially said though. But go back to what I initially said in regards to children's needs. Every single child has the same basic needs, not the direct needs, right? But the same basic needs. They need warmth, they need shelter, they need food, and they need somebody to nurture them and teach them the skills of life. If somebody in your life has taught you right from wrong, or even has taught you not to be like them, then that's still something that you're learning, and you've learned that for yourself, and it's positive that you've learned that. It may not be the experience that you've learned it from, but also perception is the same as well, and every family has its own needs. So say for example, if my dad took me to tennis every single day, but I don't like tennis, and he drops me off, he doesn't even stay there to play with me or whatever, he doesn't even talk to me on the way there, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything.
All these material things,
On
it doesn't
paper.
mean nothing. Like you said, many of us may have come from parents that might not have been there for us, or might not have worked or whatever. I've spoke to many people that have gone to private school and had that upper class upbringing, and I used to think, oh, I'd love to be like them or whatever. You speak to them. Their parents have worked all their lives. How they feel, right? They suffer psychologically the same way as an abandoned child or a child
they got
in
a nanny
care.
and they got no mum or dad.
Because they don't know their mums or dads. You get me?
Someone that
meets the needs of the
That's
child.
why you say what is
the child with the tools necessary to live
Okay, we just
the
got.
basic needs are the basic
Hold
needs.
on, hold
also
on. We've
meeting
just got a new.
security.
We've just got someone that's new
Love.
coming. Could you come and introduce yourself and tell us what you think about what you've heard so far?
Yeah.
Yeah, give them introduce yourself, mate.
Strings, real life, you don't know the thing. My thing is, everybody's got valid points, but the kids need a part of everything everyone says.
Yeah.
Not just what somebody's saying. Everybody's got valid points. So it's a bit of everything. Not just they need this, this and this, they need a bit of that, bit of what she said, bit of what you said, bit of
So
everything.
a bit of village.
That's what I said earlier. It takes a village to raise a child.
It does.
I said that earlier.
It does. It does.
But what does that village need to have in it though?
One idiot.
Because it doesn't.
No, they might not have a village. No, they may not have a village, but the thing is, what is all right? Because we might make it and think, okay, we're alive, we're not dead like some of our friends, we're not in prison like some of our friends. But what is all right? Because some people are unhappy till today.
Yes.
So you're not all right.
But like
You're
I
still
said,
fighting with your
like-
demons
but
from
like I
when you
said,
was a child.
there's some people
You're not all
who
right.
get raised by village and they're doing pretty okay.
Yeah.
Well, what is pretty okay? On paper. Listen. What I'm saying is this. 100%. But you see what he made? He made a point of saying he was happy with his dad not being there because his dad sent money, yeah? He respected that. But what I'm saying to you, because I think being present is more important than presence, okay? So hang on. Sorry.
When the mother and father don't get along,
No,
and
of course,
the mother
it's better
gets,
not to be
the
there.
father gets jogged on,
100%.
and then the mother gives it to you.
Okay, so when
It's
you
fine,
were
but
at school,
sorry,
yeah?
the thing is, let me just make a valid point. He had a positive male role model in his life. If he didn't, would you be able to sit here today and say, I had no man around me, but my dad did send money, but you saw everything else. Your mum could have went from person to person getting beat up by different men. You could have been beat up down the road, couldn't even put your fist up, couldn't fight. You see what you said? Credibility you had when you get fucked up, all that stuff, you learn that from a male role model. Whether it's your father or not, we need men in children's lives.
Yes.
No matter if it's the granddad, the uncle,
Yes.
the fucking stepdaddy, whoever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You need someone-
Preferably the dad.
It's a discipline, but the thing is, the worst thing of the discipline in my household was, so the father was, he was like, if you pissed him off, you pissed him off. Oh, fuck's sake, it's a slap around the back of the head. That means you're grounded. And all that bollocks. But the thing, the worst punishment was coming in one night, and my old dear was crying. And the dad turned around to me, and his punishment to me was, he went, look what you done, boy. You made your mother cry. That was like, boom. That's the worst.
With where we're going is that I feel like we're not talking about fathers. There's a lot of things about fathers that don't get talked about. There's a lot of things that they don't get bigged up about, and there's a lot of angles that it's been crossed.
Don't you think that the system is made to
It's
like
that way.
mess up fathers in a way? And I say this here because
You're better off without a father.
Right.
Financially, you're better off without having a dad around.
Right. Don't even if you're not allowed, for example, you're not allowed to see your child, for example, yeah? You go to court, yeah? They're making you pay to see your child.
It's all about money.
And even if they tell you can see your child, the mum can still say you're not
seeing
And
your
I
child.
think that is the woman is the devil. That woman is the devil. She's
You know
not a
what I'm
mother.
saying?
She's
You know what I'm saying?
she's just as bad as him. Or
Right, so
whatever
alright
she's done. She's not be
then.
there.
You got to pay. What's the child support agency? CSA. So you got to pay CSA. Yeah.
Not paying to see your
No, but it is if she won't let you see your child anyway.
What if a man doesn't have any money? He should still be able to be present in his child's life.
Yeah, but why?
It's not about money.
For court, the mother doesn't.
But why has it gone there in the first place?
And even when it goes court, if they tell you,
Why has it gone that far in the first place?
But that could be a lot of different reasons.
You're right.
A woman may not want a man in her life.
Yes.
Yeah. Then that doesn't mean you have right to shut them off from the child.
But that's what they do.
Not they, yeah. Don't put us all in a bracket.
No,
Some
I
people
didn't
do
say
that.
all.
I know, but that's what they
hold
do.
on,
That's
we're
women.
talking about
It's women,
specific.
men.
We're talking about specific.
See, they
thoughts or
say
people that
waste
we
man,
dealt
there's
with.
waste gash. See, a bad father, there's a bad mother. And I think you're just as bad as a mother to stop a man, as long as that man ain't doing wrong by his child. If you don't want to see him, that's your business, yeah? But you do whatever it takes, neighbour, uncle, aunt, mum, somebody should be able to be the go-between for you to co-parent. If you are standing in between your child from seeing their father, you're the problem. I don't care what that man done to you. He can fuck the whole wide world.
You can't say that because
Sometimes the courts are.
if you haven't done that, because there's just people that haven't done done nothing and they can't see their kids. And there's people that have. So it's like, there are consequences and you should be able to understand the levels in it.
But the thing is, they don't play in pieces.
No, I know
and if you want to be there as a mother, you want to be a good mother.
No, but sometimes women are bitter.
Your own shit with that man.
So women are bitter. Women are bitter.
Yeah.
Like,
Sometimes women are bitter.
So
and because of that,
very bitter. And that's worse than a man not being there. Or a man, we fucked out, or he beat you up. Even if he beat you up, if he didn't do it in front of the children, and didn't affect the children, it's up to you to do what you want to do where you're concerned. Divorce him, get rid of him. When a child's concerned,
as females,
but because you're still, and I don't mean you directly, I'm just talking, yeah?
Yes, let's love it right.
So because the woman, for example, is still bitter, the man is now suffering because maybe he can't see his child.
Suffering.
No, but the child's suffering too. But hear what I'm saying. We're talking about fathers, yeah. So I'm saying now the father is now suffering because guess what? A lot of fathers will just leave their child and not interested. But this father's interested.
And this father cares.
And he cares. And he's not being allowed to.
It's not fair.
And even from people's perspective, from what you lot have seen, not whether it's not you that's done it, whether it's your friends or whatever. Where do you feel like the females are coming from? That we're obviously
bitter. They're hurt. We shagged someone else. So fucking what? So what? That is your child. A lot of people don't have children for the right reasons. So when the man gone, all of a sudden, they use the child as the playing piece because it's the only power they've got in a relationship. He never treated you right before the child. Why the fuck you expect him to treat you right with a child? And now you're bitter.
I want to argue something.
Go for it.
Let me see if right. So you said that the mum is hurt
about these things.
Trust me. The mom's hurt. That's why the father's not allowed in the house. Blah 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 blah. Right? Yeah. So, what about? Because I believe if the mother is hurt and bitter, that's going to have an impact on the child.
100%.
That's
The
right.
mother's not fit to raise that child, right? So therefore, don't you think if it's the father that hurt the mother, it's the father's duty to try and mend that hurt? Not necessarily get back with her, whatever, but try and sort out what that pain is. So that, do you know what I mean?
But sometimes they're so bitter. They're so bitter that unless you're willing to come back with me. This ain't happening. I don't care. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Her mindset isn't straight. All she's seen is that she's hurt.
Was the one that made the issue.
She's not seeing.
Just not want to be. With
He's still with the father.
Some things
He might be a good husband, but he could be a great father. Separate the two.
Let him speak.
Yeah, sorry, it's your turn.
Go on.
Some women really stop their man
Let the
from
father
seeing
speak.
the child.
Poor fathers.
Hold on. Wait, he's got a point. Go on. So, the other thing is, we're talking about obviously like the man's done something to the woman, yeah, but it could just be a straight flip that she don't want him no more,
right?
But she's as a parent as the mother can take the kid straight from the father. So like the father ain't even had to have done nothing wrong, and he's got the little flip side.
That's what I said. The laws seem to be set to only defend the mother,
Divide
and that's the problem.
Divide and conquer.
Because
Domestic violence laws.
all right. Domestic violence laws.
Sexual consent laws. Laws regarding children and families. All of those laws work in favour of the mother. Even if the mother has a worse record than the father. Even if the woman is the issue or the perpetrator of the domestic violence, the children can still stay with children.
And that's the problem.
What's
And I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it.
What's some of yours?
I've seen cases where they removed the child from the mother.
Go on. What's going on?
It's got to be so
That's
fucking
an
deep.
extreme case.
Yeah, extreme.
When the mothers failed the
pop.
And she probably ain't told the full stories. I know you're going, I don't know if it was
And
actually.
they probably
you
gave
might
her
not know
about
the
2
full
or
story.
3 chances
Cover that
before
shit
they
up.
removed that
Well,
child.
look,
But if it's the
let's do a
father,
little
even
reset.
a phone call to say, "Oh, my husband's just hit me and my child's in," straight away, boom. If you let him back in your house, we're going to remove the child. That's it. And they'll even come and check to see if he's there.
I just think it just amazes me.
The laws work in the favour of the woman. Let's have that sort of cool agreement. Even though the woman could be a toxic bitch and a disgusting of a bad mother.
Even sexual consent relates to a girl.
Have you ever heard of that in your life?
That's why I said earlier, it's different in different countries.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's what, and that was my point, because you see, like, if we're talking, let's talk Africa, Caribbean, Poland, Sweden, or whatever, yeah, and then let's say even America.
It's most of those places, so make sure you get this right.
No, I'm saying all of those places, like, what even for a father to be a father is different. There's different requirements. Yeah. So it's like now, if a father's a father in America, if his baby mother just wants to put him in jail, she can.
Yeah.
So how you look at fathering just because of that is going to be different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like how they don't mind back home if you.
It's different in
law. And I'm like breed back home and never understanding.
It's
think
not
that's
different
crazy.
emotionally. It's not different emotionally in any country.
Of what the child needs.
Yeah.
Because it's a human right, isn't it?
But it may be different in terms of law or practicalities or
Yes,
whatever
definitely.
experiences, but not emotionally.
Have you ever seen how?
Emotionally for the child. I'm talking about.
Have you seen how the human
Even
nature?
for the father, for a child and father
Still
to be
is
without
human.
their child, whether it's prison, whether
No,
it's
you're
foster
right.
care,
I'm not
whether it's the
talking- we're
mother,
not talking about the aspect.
emotionally it's the same.
Have you ever seen? Have you ever?
Emotionally, in every country, it's not the same. That's what I'm trying to
Have
explain.
you ever seen how the human nature is? Yeah. So check it like this. I don't know about you. Yeah, call me a big baby if you want. But you see when I'm sick, yeah, I want my mum. I don't need to chat to my dad. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, right, I want my dad for certain things. And that's another thing. That's another thing I was gonna say. As a woman, yeah, because I got a daughter and she's 5 years old. I'm bringing her up here. So my question is this: year. Obviously, your dad's your first love, innit?
Yes, that's my point.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
100%.
I'm tiptoeing here.
Yeah,
How can I keep her on team?
Tell it like it
How
is.
can I keep her on team? You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, right. You see
Remember,
what I'm
you
gonna say?
are her first example of how she should be treated.
Yeah.
How you treat her mum, how you treat her, even if you're not together.
Yeah.
How this is what she is going to either expect or not know what to get. Not know. If you treat her like a princess, she ain't gonna let no man treat her anything.
Yeah.
If you think any man can come move to me,
That's
how
right.
my dad's raised me? Are you mad? Off with your head, straight out. I don't need no man to back me, no nothing. I've been raised to have my power in me and to know I ain't taking nothing less than what I deserve. And that ain't money. That ain't money.
That's right.
Yeah. I'll get my
So that's
own.
fathers. So again,
You show her that.
so again, that's fathers. That's fathers in a positive light. That's fathers moving. You know what I'm trying to say? Because I'm just looking at it like, right, exactly how you treat. That's how shit.
Yeah.
That will keep that going.
But it was negative
Yeah.
factors that brought me to that.
Change that, i.e., she doesn't live with you.
Yeah.
The mum's in her everyday little.
Yeah.
Bitter, that's back to bitter women.
Yeah.
Exactly. But those are the things that can mess it up.
We know what can mess it up. We've already
yeah.
established a woman like that. They're not even fit to be called mothers in my eyes. Yeah, they are not fit to even be a parent. If you are doing that and speaking ill of I think you should not speak ill of your child, of the person. Your child is you, and they are the father. When you speak to your child about their father, like the father, you're talking bad about the child.
Tell them,
You're giving
tell
them
them.
insecurities.
You're making them ill as well.
Right? Let's not talk
Well
about the
said,
Bitter Baby
well
Mother
said.
Committee because none of them are sitting on the panel and none of us agree with them being like that. And they are a big reason why a lot of men can't be fathers, and we all agree on that.
They're also a big reason why. They're also a big reason why.
No, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. They'd go start making excuses. Oh, but he didn't do this. Oh, but he didn't do that though. That's what they were
But
sitting there doing.
they're also a
Excuses.
contribution to why a lot of our men have poor mental health and emotional well-being.
Women are raising men. Remember that.
because of how they
We are raising men.
abuse the law against them.
We're
just to
we're
feel
raising
they're
men.
airing themselves. The
Same
whole
way-
time their child is suffering. Why would you want your child's father to be mad in his head?
Right.
What happens if
Right.
you die? Who's going to look after your
Right.
child?
Like what you did to me.
Baby
Like
mama
what you
must
did
be
to me.
fine.
You and him! You fucking him!
I think that's a bit of baby mother could also stem from maybe not in all cases, but in some cases having children too young or having children in poverty.
Yeah.
There's lots of things that can influence that type of.
And her
because
example
it's a
as a
learning
male, from a
experience,
male, as we
Can I
said,
also
it's very
say-
important for his daughter, right? So if a woman who hasn't been raised by her father, she got daddy issues. Imagine that.
Right.
So that can stem.
Right. And that's
Women and men are equal
Yeah,
in
that's
in what our child needs.
Yes.
You're so right that when they're born, they need warmth, they need shelter, they need milk. That's all around the world.
Yes, male or female,
Right.
every child.
You have kids.
I've got one child, yeah.
So have you been perfect with your baby father?
Have I been perfect to him as a mother or as a wife?
Like as a
Wife. Let's separate those two.
Okay, alright, cool. So you're with him?
I'm not with him, no.
No, not with him.
No,
So
not at the moment.
You lot never had any disagreements.
Of course we have.
So I'm saying, as much as we can, you know, like, because if I sat, I'm not saying whoever's baby mothers here, yeah.
I don't even like the term baby mother. I am, and he doesn't call me baby mother
Okay,
either.
child of people's mothers.
Right? Mother of people's children. Yes, darling.
Okay, cool.
It's nice the way you're talking. I hear most girls talk like that, but that same girl.
Keep the energy, yeah. Keep the energy. I believe in separating. Right, that's one thing I wouldn't do. I get him on the phone now.
It's not
I get him on
about.
the phone now.
Can I finish? We need to get into the nitty gritty
Yeah.
because the truth is, as much as you're not saying what's supposed to be said, yeah.
Can I get a talk?
Can I just finish what I'm saying? If the certain sexual encounters got you.
Devil dick.
Can we?
Devil dick or pussy whipped, because the guys can't stay away.
I'm saying, can
And when they can't stay away,
They try to trap you,
I'm
man.
saying, let's discuss. I'd rather discuss devil dick than discuss the ideal world. Like, let's just for the females that talk about the fact that someone did give you a bit of devil dick and you acted out.
Devil dick is basically a toxic relationship.
100, is it?
No, it's great dick, but you don't let it go on. No relationship doesn't happen.
What's devil dick?
Devil dick is when you know you shouldn't be with that person, but he got the good dick.
Why shouldn't you be with that person?
How does that relate to being a father?
Because it's toxic.
Right,
How does that relate to being a father?
Yeah, stigmatized.
Tell us how you want us to relate that to being a father.
I'm saying you. If it's not you, then we know that these things
Us
are
as
happening.
what? I don't have
So I'm
children.
saying to you, I'm not saying it's you. I'm saying even if it's someone that you know. But
Look, a lot of
we're not
women don't want to let
discussing
go of the relationship. That's what makes them
You get
bitter.
what I'm talking about.
A lot of women don't want to let go of
Conversation.
relationships. They make that bitter, and they use the child as a pawn.
part of the
But we use right. But the man, you should know.
But
Look, she loves me. I can't give her the dick because she's gonna be on my next minute. Oh, you can see when you're giving her the dick and you're there. Oh, you know you can see the child whenever you want. When things ain't working between you, so what you need to do, you need to be able to separate amicably. Okay, there's no going back and forth with the dick and with the dick and all that. But the men are just as bad, you know. Men are just as bad. They cannot take it when a woman moves on. Shit, that man will want to kill his whole family and kill the kids before he lets that woman move on.
Understanding.
And I'm laughing. That's not even funny. It's just
Because it happens.
right. I would have put it out.
I understand, but I feel like let's discuss the sides that are not discussed. Let's not discuss, what should be done in the
But you see what?
Yeah.
But you see what? Yeah. That's why I believe in marriage, though, innit? That's why I believe in marriage, though, innit? Because hear what you're saying now, yeah. I heard a lot of the D.
exactly.
The
It's
D.
all about sex.
Yeah, you see if you came together as a team to be married and to live right by your children,
Not gonna have
then
sex.
there wouldn't be this
That's why I
the
said
D
toxic
because
Right.
there's levels. There's
Marriage does
there's
not
right.
We're talking about relationships when the relationship's done and they're still
That's what it does.
interfering with one another.
It doesn't
Sexually.
guarantee
All that you haven't got
That's
that.
It doesn't guarantee it, but I shall tell you what it is. It's a contract.
So have you together?
Hear what I'm saying. Hear me out. It's a contract. You're signing into a contract that you're going to be in a team with somebody to raise your children to treat them right. So guess what? If you messed it up, then we get divorced, and that's it, innit?
Hold on, big man.
That's it for her. It's not that's it for the child.
No. But I signed the contract, so I'm
Leave
still
him alone.
involved in my child.
He's saying good
Check
things.
what I'm saying to you.
Leave
I
him.
signed a contract, so even if we end up apart,
Yes.
I signed a contract.
Tell her again.
When we got married, so that I'm going to be there for my child, and no matter what's going on, I'm going to be there for my child.
There's a lot of
If
people
I was to have a child
and then they don't be there for the child.
I
When
wouldn't
they're
have a
there together,
child
they're there.
without
When they're
those
not there.
terms anyway, despite of whether I was married or not.
But people do.
It's about knowing the person.
The reason I say marriage.
In America,
The re-
there is no accidents. In America, it's 50-50. In
No, I mean, like,
England,
having
we
a child.
can go about our
Some people
business
have a
with
child
our
and
child.
accidentally have
But
a
in
child.
America, you cannot leave the state with somebody else's child. If me and you have a child,
Really?
and I say I want to leave the state, I have to contact you before. But in England, once us women have a child, it's ours.
No. I travel a lot.
the male
I have to
sex-
bring my birth certificate
Yeah.
with my daughter when I travel. I travel a lot. She's had more aeroplanes than Christmas dinners, mate. And birthdays put together. But I tell you this, I was adamant that she has. We weren't married. We were together over 9 years before we had that child. Okay? So you could be married and you're still gone the next day. Whatever, okay?
I get it, but why I say it is,
It makes it hard to break up.
because to me,
I was adamant that she was going to have her father's surname, yeah? And that was me, and I still stand by that today. But when I travel with my daughter, who looks just like me, and her father, but on paper you think she's like, oh, colour, whatever. I have to bring her birth certificate because I'll get told, well, you see, she looks just like you. She's clearly happy, but we don't know you didn't kidnap her. I'm like, okay, that's fine, and I accept that. But I don't think I should abuse the power of being a mother who could just... whatever I'm doing, he knows.
By law,
out of respect.
By law, a mother is or father. Whoever has parental responsibility over the child is supposed to get
Father don't
permission
get
to take the
ratings, though.
children out of the
I think
country.
so they should.
Father
It
don't
doesn't
get
have
that
no
much ratings. The father is diluted.
Yeah, the father's place has been diluted.
Yeah, I
Father's
agree.
thing's diluted.
I agree. The government wants it that way.
Hear what I'm saying?
The government wants it that way.
You're going to take that
It's
child
like-
for yourself.
Peps.
Woman.
Hold on. You're with someone now, yeah, and you break up, yeah, and he wants to take his child abroad. You say no. Do you know that you can't do it?
They have to apply to the court and get permission from
No,
the
but
court.
understand what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is, right, I want to take my child abroad, innit? I want to go on holiday. We'll be back in 4 weeks, innit? I don't want you to take him. Do you know what that means? I cannot take the child. That's how the law says.
Both ways.
That works
I've
both
had to carry a
ways.
birth certificate.
That works for male and female.
I'm the primary carer, but I have to bring them. If he
Yes,
called
it
up,
does. It
if
works
he called
both
up,
ways.
if my daughter's dad,
Yes, you do.
called up, his name's on the birth certificate and said, I don't want I wouldn't be able to take her out of the country.
Qualified in childcare.
She's qualified.
You don't know. What can
No,
you
of
qualify
course.
in?
Like, when she's dating a lady, looks happy now. He's like, bing. Oh, really? Shit. She ain't got nowhere now, is she?
Yeah. What's his name?
I think he's like,
But only if he's on the birth certificate. If he's not on the birth certificate,
yeah. If his name's on the birth certificate.
Right, so that's another argument altogether.
Do you know what's wrong though? A woman.
That's what we're here for, darling.
It's up to the woman. It's up to the mother whether she puts the man on the birth certificate or
Or
not.
not.
I could have a baby and go and register it
You say it's
tomorrow
Will
without the
Smith.
father, and then he
You say
has
it's
no
Will
legal
Smith.
rights over it. That is so
I
bad.
can say it's nothing, man.
That is so bad.
I think that is so wrong. Do
Not
you know what?
Come.
you know what? I think that is so wrong.
Hey, 1 second. I'm just bringing in abs.
And
I think that is so crazy.
and
To get a DNA.
That's a whole nother story.
Tamer, 1
That sounds
second.
like Jerry Springer.
and
See, but you know, Abs gave me an example, yeah. He said, like, you know, like, there's a family that has 2 kids, yeah, and they stay together because for the kids' sake, and they did all the things, you know, like, study together, did everything, worked together, and then when the kids were old enough, they did their own
They
things.
parted, yeah.
What do we say about that kind of situation? Do we feel like that kind of situation is
That
teaching-
sounds like a contract.
But do you feel like it's teaching kids to be together with whether they're unhappy or not, or do you feel like that's still
I agree.
a structure that
I don't
that
think
should
you
be
should.
respected?
It sounds like a contract.
There's good and bad in all of it.
No,
Yes.
But you know what?
Yeah.
I would rather my child not grow up seeing me swinging on her dad, or vice versa, because we must stay together.
Because
we need
not
to be
good as
mummy
well.
and daddy.
No, that's
It
not
can be very
That is a
toxic.
toxic relationship for the
It
child.
can be very toxic, especially if the child can see the fake love.
Exactly. And then they grow up thinking.
It's a bit contradictory to what
Sorry, I know.
They grow
Sorry.
up thinking this is what love is.
I know-
Showing
I know-
them a false perspective of love
Yeah.
based on the fact that you're trying to just
And that
stick
can
together.
damage their emotional development.
I know you're not talking about that, yeah, but I want to ask you a question, Miss Social Worker. I want to ask you a question, yeah?
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question.
No,
Hold
I
on.
know she's supposed to, but the way he's
What was you
saying
saying
it,
about? What was you saying about the birth certificate?
If a mother was to have a baby in hospital, she can go to the registry office and register that child. A father can't go and register a child without the mother being there. The mother and child both have to. Sorry, the mother and father both have to be there for the father's name to be on the birth certificate.
Yeah.
But it could be anybody. Because they didn't ask for no ID. I could have said he's Bill
Hold on,
motherfucking Smith and I would have been like,
London, hold on.
it's wrong.
please, London, watch this now. Everything you've been saying is 100% right.
Yeah.
Since I've been standing over there, I5, yeah? And I wasn't going to step in on this one, but I stepped in on this one because that was a touchy subject to me. Yeah? I don't talk about it a lot, yeah? But me and my baby mother were not good at one stage, yeah? And do you know, and do you know, yeah, that we had a petty argument. It weren't nothing, no abuse, no nothing, it was just petty argument. Do you know that she went to her mother and asked, you know, we're having an argument, I don't know what to do, rare. She don't know the rights properly. If I put him on the birth certificate, and we had a disagreement tomorrow, does he have more rights than me? Is he able to do this and use my son against me? Do you know, the mum said, well, you know, if you lot are not great, then you don't take him off. Don't ever put him on. Yeah? And, you know, when you feel like you lot okay, put him on.
Was her mum and
She's using the power in the wrong way.
Are her mum and dad together?
Her mum and dad are not together. Evidently,
We're saying this, won't we?
baby mothers. Now, do you know the effects that had on me as a father? Do you know, everybody here knows me to be a great dad. Forget everything else, yeah? I put my son before everything, yeah? Do you know, after all of that and everything she done, do you know after that I stepped away because it's so painful? Not only did I step away from her, yeah? Forget, you see, I love my child, you know? Everybody knows I love my child to death. You don't see me walking my little kid hand. Like, I love him to death. But do you know I stepped away from him for a month and a half? Do you know why I stepped away from him? Because it hurt me so much, yeah, that I had to step away. Yeah? Do you know, she came back a couple months later, oh my God, how could I do that? I'm so sorry. You know, I've been speaking to people and they told me that's atrocious. How could I do that? I listened to my mum. I wasn't in my right mind. You know, I rang up the people them and I said, how was that allowed? Yeah? How was that allowed? Do you know what they said to me? I said, how did you allow that? How could you allow that? Yeah? How could you?
That's
not breaking the law.
And I said to her, boom, how do you go to the registry office? Am I a good father? Yes, you are. How are you able to go to the registry office, sit down there, and when it says, does the child have a father, and you left it blank, yeah, knowing that
I was there in the hospital from start till finish.
So why is it even allowed?
Why is it
I
allowed?
don't agree that it should be allowed.
Why is it even allowed?
Why is it? Why
Should it be
is
allowed?
illegal?
Should it
Now,
be
as a
Separate,
man,
I think it's divide and conquer.
They allow it, yeah?
Is there in
Not
every
only
country?
do they allow it, yeah? You see, even when one of my baby mums did that to me, they still called me on CSA. So it's like, it's not even
Yes.
like,
Right, so they can still stick you up for the money, but there's no proof in the
It's
father.
all about power. It's all about
I
money.
still call them and say, this is him, and I still want that.
Yeah.
But
Part
I
of the
ain't
bigger
got the
picture.
rights of the birth certificate. But they
watch
say
this,
that doesn't
watch
matter.
this.
I'm saying,
You're
well,
Divide
100%
and conquer.
correct. Watch this, watch this. Watch
They
this.
don't want the males in the home.
Watch this, watch this,
They
watch
don't
this.
want women to have that strength. They don't want families to have that strength.
Yeah.
This is a bigger thing than just us lot. Okay, this is divide and conquer. This is infiltrating. When you look at, it's not about colour, yeah, but let's have it right. The money, Those are the sort of people who get married. White people, they got all the money. They get married and she's shagging the gardener, darling, and he turns by, he's fucking his secretary. But that's there for the kids. None of them are there. They got the nanny raising the kids. Those are the people that are committing suicide. They got all the money on paper in the world. Yeah,
Prescription pills.
money being more important than anything else, okay? And now we know that's not a way to do it. We grow up thinking, oh fucking hell, won't we like a pool? Or won't we like to have private tennis lessons?
That's
We come from
right.
the jungle, we
That's
fight our way
right.
up, whether there's a that there or not,
Yeah.
and then we end up being in a better place. So what they're saying about the negative and positive, it balances out, okay? It does balance
Mental
out.
health is high in
But
them
you
as
know
well.
what? We need to remember, a lot of people, how well did you know your other half before you had that child?
Yes.
Because there's telltale signs. After you have the child, you think, oh,
We're not
fucking hell.
compatible.
See how she did to her best mate? Or see what she did to her mum when she's mad? Do you think she's not going to do that to you when she turns and she switches? Or you don't think he's had 10 kids and he don't look after them? Oh, but you thought he was going to look after this one. Then you're mad at him. Or he slept with you when he was with his wife and now he's done that to you. Now you don't want to see the kid.
What's the summary here, lads?
Summary.
Fathers.
Just important as mothers.
Fathers are more important, just important.
We got this spot.
Yeah.
Fathers are just important, and also we must give our children time. You know, like spend time with the family, and that if you are a father and you're trying to get on with your wife and stuff like that, look after home, innit?
Definitely separate, be able to draw the line.
Yes.
Draw the line between personal issues, relationship,
Have
and
consideration.
and parental issues,
right.
because they're not the same.
Personal issues.
Yeah, and
So relationship issues.
understand.
Be a bit more selfless. Don't put yourself and put the child first.
Put the
Child
child,
100%.
because the child's the one that will suffer.
Do what's
because-
best for the child.
If you're a parent that's keeping your child separate from its other parent just because of your own feelings, not because they're a risk of harm to your child,
You're
then
doing
what
it wrong.
you need
You're the
to do
problem.
is have a serious word with yourself and think about your child in 10 or 20 years' time and how they're going to think of you. How they're going to think of you knowing that they don't know their father because of you. They don't know some of their relatives that are now passed and dead now because of you. And they will never know them because of you.
So
Think
basically,
of
those
how
girls,
this is
they
going
need
to
to
affect your child.
go to your doctor.
Fathers that are not biological fathers, what can we say about
Those
that?
You know what? Big up,
No,
big,
but-
big up yourself,
They're
mate.
doing
I'm-
fantastic.
Yeah. Tell them
If
where
they're
they
not
can get
biological-
counselling and that, because
Let
you
them
know
say
that.
this.
Hold on.
Yeah,
All them girls.
to any non-biological father, you're doing a fantastic.
Big up yourself.
Yeah, big up yourself.
Big up
mate.
yourself.
My
Big up
stepdad's
yourself.
been
uncles that's
with me
real role
since I was
models.
7
Big
years
up
old.
yourself.
Big up yourself.
I fucking love him. He's
I
my
think
dad.
that's really
Yeah.
nice.
I
I
have a
personally
dad.
wouldn't let my child
He's
call
my
another man dad.
Father.
And I wouldn't either. But if they're doing, it's nice if they come right, it's nice.
I love
I'm just
you.
saying.
I love
I'm
you.
saying.
It's a reality though. So
I
let
would
him
never
say what
do
he was
that.
saying.
Nah, he finished. Did he got his piece across.
It's a reality.
What she said?
I feel
Nah,
like
he
it's
got his
crazy.
piece. I made sure he got his piece across.
We got the pitch.
But
Listen.
there's not everyone that can have that. What is it?
Whatever his name is, Derek.
Listen.
What did he say?
Listen. A lot of we're not going straight back.
Yeah, I get it.
We're not going right back into the topic. But a lot of women find a man that they love, not what's right for the child that they love,
Yes.
and then they turn around and say, "I love this child." So you know what? My ex, my child's father is a dickhead. So you know what? I love you. So you're daddy now.
That's your
it don't
daddy,
work
though.
like that.
No.
It doesn't work
I
like
don't-
that.
I
And you know what? It doesn't
agree.
work
No,
like
I
that.
agree. Because
If he
a
wants to
vindictive
step
woman-
up, if he wants to step
That's
up,
not the situation we're talking about. Because certain man might be passed away.
if listen, if the father,
So it doesn't have to be
Doesn't matter.
stepdads then. It could be granddad, it could be
I'm
uncle,
just
it could be
saying- I'm
brother,
just saying
whoever is stepping into that role
I understand what you're saying.
and
So-
filling those
A
boots.
child
Even
does
with
not
the
need to
discussion
meet.
as
A
a
child
whole,
does not need to meet your
Do you know
partner,
what? There's nothing wrong with stepdads.
especially if his father's still there.
Stepdads that should get their ratings.
But that depends. A
So what
stepdad.
about if you have a
I'm doing
child?
it for other reasons.
I listen.
What about
Yeah,
if you have
yeah.
a child with somebody, you know that
Circumstances.
person, and then you go with another person that have 3 3 children with them. So should all those 3 children in the household, they're calling them daddy?
No.
Calling them a different name. How does that?
He should always know the truth. He should always know the truth.
Yes,
He should always know the truth. He should always know the truth.
Always know the truth.
Yes, but then what does that child? All your siblings are calling them daddy, and you're calling him.
You should think about that as a woman. You should think of that.
No, I don't agree.
Calm down, everybody speak one
What's yours raped? You can't say that. I'm talking about if there's a child.
I think it depends on the age.
And there's
You
3
decide whether
other
you have the
siblings
child
or
or not, whether you're raped or not.
I think it depends.
You don't believe in abortion.
I think it depends on the
choice.
age.
So now that they've made that choice, now
take responsibility.
now that they've taken responsibility that they've got raped and decided to keep.
Oh God, that's not the responsibility.
No, but you're missing the point. The point is, I'm giving you a scenario, so just listen, yeah? Before you talk, just listen. There's a child here, there's a mum and a child. The child, whatever happens to that child, mother, there's a child now, that's her, yeah?
Right.
Now, she's in the household, she meets another man a few years later or whatever. It could even be when a child's 6 months, because there's men out there that love to take on people.
They love it.
Right.
They love it.
Yeah?
To get in a woman, to get in a woman panty. To get in the panty them.
So say for example now,
To get in the panty.
the woman has 3 children with that man and is in the house with that man. Because remember you said you'll never let another man call blah blah blah. Yeah. So how do you think that child will feel knowing? Don't you think that child will feel isolated? Everyone's calling this man.
All right, listen.
Hang on, what
I've been
about
that child. I'm gonna answer you as that little boy. I'm gonna answer you as that little boy.
Alright, stop.
Let me get I'll tell you this.
London, go.
I'm saying, yeah, if that is the case, you're doing a blended family.
Yeah.
Remember, I'm probably the only mother then, because if that's his kids, then I'm her mum. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I think age will play a factor in this, because if you've got a newborn baby and then you can say he's dead, you got raped, whatever, all these scenarios, all these crazy scenarios, right? I'm saying if that the real father's not in their life, they're still always to know who the real father is, right? Now, if they were really young and they've been raised a certain way and that's the only person they know, in that way, I would say that it's fine. I'm just saying, right? I didn't have my child till I was 30. I'm not going to start getting all. I'm not going to start getting to my own business. I didn't have my child till I was 30. My child is at age. She will always know who her dad is. If he decided he didn't want to be around, that's on him. I wouldn't stop him from being there.
There's many fatherless children out here,
and I'm not going to replace them. You can't replace a man.
Alright, can I talk as that little boy? I'm that little boy. I know I look like a big Ross Clark man, but I'm gonna talk.
It should always be the child's decision whether they call him dad or not.
Listen.
I agree.
You see everything you're talking about, and I'm talking a lot right now. But I'm that little boy. I'm that little boy. You see that scenario that you're talking about? I could be rock. Like everybody differs.
Yeah.
Like another little child might not feel the same way as me. But however, my mum had another man after me. Yeah, she claims she never made me say daddy, that's daddy. But because that was my sister's dad, I started calling him daddy. Let me show naturally. But shall I tell you naturally? Do you know naturally? Well, watch this. Naturally. Wait. Naturally, shall I tell you why naturally? Naturally, because my dad wasn't spoken about enough. Yeah, because my dad was not around. I'm not blaming him. No. This is what I'm saying. I'm not blaming him. Through their situation, which like it could be complicated.
Of course.
Whatever happened, he wasn't around enough, which is the reason why I looked at this man and I saw my little sister saying daddy, and I was listen, it will happen. However, as I got older, and I turned round and I said, someone came to me, and I'm going to be real with you. My mum doesn't even know what I'm going to tell my mum.
At what age?
Yeah, watch this.
That's why it's important to tell each other the truth.
As soon as I had logic in my head, I can't remember exactly what age, but as soon as I could think for myself, I turned around and said, this man don't look like me. One of my aunties, who my mum said didn't have the right to say this, but if she never said this to me, I would have never knew. Yeah, turned around and said, you see that man there, as much as you love him, yeah, I'm not taking nothing away from him. He's a good man and he took you on. But you know what? That is not your father. Do you know what? No, I don't. I don't. Do you know what that done for me emotionally?
Yeah.
Do you know half the time I'm running up and down on the roads and doing certain things, doing certain things. Do you know why? Because I was living under false pretenses.
Yeah.
This
now
man who I don't know who you are. Man who I don't know who I am. Right. I called this man father the whole of my. I'm not scrutinizing my mum. But what I am saying is I feel like I lived half my life on a lie. Now my dad could be the worst dad in the world. Yeah, but I wouldn't listen. I feel that my dad is worse than the person that I was calling dad. But let me tell you something. You see, after I found out that was my dad and that's not my dad, you know what I done? I went on a manhunt. Yeah, and I found my dad. And you know what I found out? Let me not say too much.
Say no
But you know,
more.
but you know what I found. But wait, I'm not. I know just because I'm using logic. Yeah. But I found out what I found out about my dad. Let me tell you something. Yeah, that's still my flesh and blood.
Of course.
Yeah, that is still my flesh and blood. That's still my flesh and blood. And you know what? I still rate this man for raising me.
Yeah.
However, you will never be my father.
Never.
There's always going to be an
You
Can I ask
never
a
be my father.
question?
That's why you need to be honest.
Let's not try and play mummies and daddies.
Please
Please
let me
let me
and be like,
Oh no, one at a time,
A lot of
no.
women do. A lot of women do.
Yeah, one at a time, one at a time.
No, it's different. It's different. I'm just telling you my wife from my experience.
Let me ask this important question. This is for the audience. This is for the people that are going to ask. Now, regarding that situation, what you've just explained, right? How did your mum's actions and behaviour of deciding that she'll just kind of not really mention your
Not
dad,
mention
and
it,
if
yeah.
you call this
How
man
did it
dad,
affect me?
that's up to you. How did your mum's actions of kind of putting your father out of the picture and bringing this new man into the picture, right? How did that affect you?
Listen,
Because a lot of mothers are doing this out there right now. A lot of
for the mum.
a lot of
representing your mum.
one
Wait,
second. A lot of mothers are doing this right now out there, yeah.
I wasn't for a long
You must
time.
have
And children don't know their fathers, believe their father doesn't love them and never wanted to know them.
Right.
The whole time their fathers are
It
fighting
was you.
silently,
Yeah.
working hard to get money all over to try and fight it in the courts of law because men have to pay and women don't. And the whole time this child thinks, my dad doesn't love me, I'm just going to call this man dad.
Listen,
and they can end up
it's
hating
funny you
their
touched
dad
on that.
for all of their lives.
It's funny you touched on that.
And then
Stop
you end up
hiding children's fathers.
And listen,
100%.
it's funny. Wait.
100%,
You
thank you.
got passion for that.
Thank you.
It's got- and I'm gonna touch. Listen, I'm gonna touch back on that because everything you just said,
Devilish.
was my situation.
Yeah.
I hated my dad for the whole of my life because I said you never fought for me. I know there was a court case, but I didn't know the details. Every
Didn't
time
even
I
have
asked-
money to fight
listen,
that case.
Every time I asked my mother, who I love very dearly, I'm gonna make that very clear. I love her. I'm not downplaying my mother. She raised me and made me who I am. Yeah. However, I never knew the truth. And when I asked about my dad, when I found out the truth eventually, which I was bitter because if I'm saying this guy's dad, you're supposed to say, this is not dad, that your dad, he's that. You're supposed to correct me. But I'm calling him dad because I'm young and I don't know no better. When I found out, it burnt me. You understand what I'm saying? It burnt me. And what I'm saying is, I don't hate the man because he took me on. But what I'm saying is, I never knew the truth about my father. I never
So you didn't know the truth about yourself.
and I couldn't make my own decision. Yeah. And every time I asked her, who is my dad? Where is my dad? She said, how am I supposed to know? I haven't seen
Tell
him
them
know.
the truth,
Would you know?
mothers.
Tell them the truth because
Tell them
It's shame in society, the shame.
Tell them the truth.
That's why back in the day, a lot of
You know what, yeah,
families, they pretend they act like it was cool.
Alright, let's
They kept the
conclude
marriage
this
going.
up, guys. Hello.
In an
Let's-
age-appropriate way.
Can we wrap this up?
Age is a big deal.
So, women must tell the truth. What else you want to tell them?
Good fathers, we love you. Fathers out there that are absent from the children and it's not their fault, try harder.
What about you,
Even the
James?
fathers that it is your fault, try harder. It's never too late to change. Trust me,
What
it's
have
never
you got
too late to
say,
change.
Stu, to the fathers
I
there?
say not every father's a natural father.
That's true.
It's just a positive male role model in your life.
Yeah.
Can be good.
And just try and live
Yeah.
a good life, innit?
Also, families come together.
Yes.
And have a contract. And obviously my thing's my thing. Your thing might be different. But when I say a contract, I mean a contract in knowing that you are coming together as a team
Yeah.
to
On the
raise
same
a child.
path. Yeah.
No matter what.
No
I think
matter
when we're all
what,
putting
no
the
matter what
child
happens,
first, we're all
or
on the
where it
same
goes.
team.
You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
And try and make sure you're a bit compatible before you end up having a baby, rather than having a baby
100%.
and then a year later or 2 years later
100%,
thinking, oh, we're not
100%.
compatible.
It's like you've been together 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Try.
All right. Yeah.
One more.
All right.
All the truth about themselves.
Hold on, mate.
No, let her
Yeah,
go.
for real. No problem.
Yeah.
Compatibility.
My message is women, understand, I'm not saying totally brush away all the advice you're getting. So some people, they want good for you. Your mothers want good for you. Your friends want good for you. Your friends will say, don't do that. Your man's a dickhead.
not
But I'm
qualified.
telling you something. They do not have the position to talk on that because in 5 years' time, that friend that was giving you that advice that will change your life forever, that friend may not be there. Yeah? So
won't be.
you are affecting your child on everything you do. You could say something, could act a certain way towards that baby father, and I'm not defending them. I'm going to be real with you. Some fathers are shit. Yeah? However, it doesn't matter if he's a shit father. That is still the father.
And you chose him.
That is still the
And you
father.
chose
You know
him.
what I will say? My advice is don't lie down with a man to keep a man.
No, hell no. Do you know what? Put the child first. I think
Put
if
the
everyone's on the
child
same
first.
page.
Don't have a baby with a guy to try and keep him.
Put the child first.
I think if
Then
everyone's on
you
the
end up
same
in a
page,
problem.
just putting the child first.
Put the child
and
first.
then
No
even
matter
when you
what.
do split up, then you know you co-parent. Okay? Simple as.
All right.
And men are just as important as women in a child life. That's it.
Yes.
Oh yeah, and last thing,
Yeah.
very quickly, it really bothers me. No, it bothers me. I'm telling you.
And men are more. I say fathers are just important as mothers.
See the government thing, yeah. Like
Infiltrating.
people have to think outside of the
Outside of the box.
and realise
Outside
that
of the
the
box.
government don't want for you what you want.
What
for your
you
children.
want.
What
you want.
Wow.
And what's
We're
best for
talking
your
about what the
children.
women
But I
should
think
do.
that's another
The advice we
podcast.
give is about women. I think fathers, if we're not going to be a good father in a child's life, just put a condom on it, yeah?
Alright. Let's wrap this up.
Wipe the condom break! Wipe the condom break! I'm done. Wipe the condom break!